sunshine of your life.
This is my special guest, Jolene Pollard. She's a certified holistic nutritionist, and Jolene has been sharing her wealth of knowledge with us here at the studio, presenting live talks every 2 weeks since December.
November, I think.
November.
Yeah.
Oh, longer than December.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Super excited to be here.
We've decided to call it Sunshine of Your Life.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. And with Pamela Howse, that's me. So we hope to bring some more light and useful information into people's lives, and we're really honored that you decided to join us today and share your wealth of wisdom with the world.
Nice.
So what did you want to talk about today,
Well,
Jolene?
I'm here to talk about the paleo lifestyle and diet. Really, any kind of diet that you endeavor on should be a lifestyle change. I mean, obviously, it didn't take you just 2 months to get to the way you are. If you're looking to manage a disease or lose weight or manage a skin condition, you can do that through diet, but it really should be a lifestyle change. So you should be looking at all aspects of your life, as far as exercise and what you eat, and even spirituality can be part of it. Pardon me, my voice, a little bit sick, but the diet is 80% of what you're looking at changing. So it's a very important aspect of your life. And
How long would you feel if you chose a specific diet that was right for your body type? You said 2 months, or would it take a little bit longer, like 2 to 5 months, that you would really have to apply the new eating habits?
well,
daily?
there's a saying that goes, you'll feel the difference in 4 weeks. You'll see the difference 8 weeks, everybody else sees the difference, and then not until 12 weeks will you see the difference. So if you're really looking to change your whole lifestyle, you're not really going to notice anything for 3 months. You'll start to notice little changes. Your clothes will start to fit better. You'll start to have more energy. You'll start to feel have a little bit more bounce in your step. But it's really a 3-month commitment before you start noticing anything. And I would at least commit to 1 month of it before you start saying this is either right or wrong for me.
Right. So I'm really curious. What is the paleo lifestyle all about? I've seen like Facebook posts with recipes and a lot of
Right.
people that are really getting into it and losing weight and feeling great.
Right.
But I honestly haven't done a lot of research myself.
So the paleo lifestyle is all about eating the way we were meant to eat, the way we used to eat years and years ago, the way our Paleolithic ancestors used to eat. So anything that you can hunt and gather. And that being said, with the factory farming and stuff that has come into play in the industrialized world, you really want to source your meat. So you want to make sure that your animals that you're eating are eating what they're supposed to be eating. Animals were never meant to eat corn or wheat or any other kind of grain. They were meant to eat grass, and they were meant to graze in a wide open field. So they weren't meant to be in a feed lot where they're not seeing sunshine and they're not able to get the full extension of their muscles. And so you really want to source your meat products. We have our own chickens, so we have our own eggs. And I find that now when I go back to grocery store bought eggs, I react to them.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if I react to them because it's what they're eating or if it's just something that I react to now. But yeah, I do. And so I find that now that I'm on this paleo lifestyle, I really, we make sure that we have organic foods, and I cook. You really have to cook. So it's really a lot of preparation. And
So what's the what main type of foods do you cut out of your diet if you're on a paleo lifestyle?
so I cut out all processed foods. So breads, grains, sugars, so grains are a big thing that you cut out. Legumes, because you have to think back in the Paleolithic age, Grains and legumes are really, it takes a lot of energy to gather these things for very little reward. You're expending a lot of energy and you're getting very little in return. So grains, legumes, processed foods, processed oils such as your vegetable oils, they're highly processed. So it takes a lot of high pressure and heat and stuff to get the liquid oil out of your vegetables. But the vegetables themselves are fantastic. It's great to have lots of vegetables, lots of fruit. If you're looking to lower your weight, then you don't want to eat as much fruit. But fruits are loaded with antioxidants and loaded with all kinds of good nutrients.
But high in sugar. Is that
high in sugar, yes.
That's something I've learned in my lifestyle changes that I've made for myself as well, was just taking an honest look at how high in sugar, natural sugars, that the fruits
sugar
are.
is sugar.
Right. Sugar is sugar. So sometimes instead of adding a whole banana to my smoothies, I'll cut it in half if I'm thinking about sugar. Right?
You can also add an avocado instead of banana.
Okay.
Yeah.
And avocados are lower. Do they have sugar, avocados?
They have a little bit of sugar in
Right.
them, but they are high in a healthy fat. And they are fantastic, creamy texture to them. So they add lovely flavors to smoothies.
Right, so it has that same kind of texture that a banana would add, that soft, creamy texture.
Right.
Cool. So is that, you were telling us at one of your presentations that you had overcome sort of a life-threatening?
Yes, multiple sclerosis.
Right.
I was diagnosed a year after I had my first child.
Okay.
I now have 4 of them.
Oh, wow.
I was diagnosed, I had my first relapse, they call them, when she was 4 months old. My whole left side of my body went numb. I had no idea what it was. It scared the bejesus out of me. And after that, I had problems with my eyes, and I was heat sensitive, and I had other numbness and tingling in different parts of my body, muscle fatigue or loss of use of that particular muscle. And I went basically on a downward spiral, and I suffered from depression, and I was low energy, so I was napping throughout the day, and by the time my son was almost 2, I could barely lift him. And he was a small boy. He was only about 30 pounds just before 2. And then I found the paleo lifestyle. And I switched my diet, and within a month I was no longer napping, and I was feeling fantastic. And then I started CrossFit, and I was all of a sudden throwing hundreds of pounds of weight over my head, and I never thought that'd be possible again.
And since you've modified your lifestyle and adapted to the paleo diet, have you had any relapses? Like, you've been...
Yes.
Okay.
I do have relapses. I've had a relapse after every child was born.
Right.
Because during pregnancy, your immune system is suppressed so that you don't reject the growing fetus inside of you. And then afterwards, it kicks back into high gear. So yes, I've had a relapse after every baby. But since I found the paleo diet, that's the only relapse that I've had. I've had one after Carson, and I had one after Lola, and I had one after Sullivan, and I haven't had one since. So it really keeps it in check. And I do feel it if I have a sandwich, or if my husband and I go out for dinner and I have something that's not such paleo, then I do notice it. I notice that if you have a little bit more tingling in my hand, or I feel a little bit more sleepy that day.
So with your program that you had graduated from, your nutrition coaching, holistic nutrition, what type of person would benefit from meeting with you and having you draw up a diet plan for their lifestyle?
The paleo can really adapt to any lifestyle.
Okay.
So if you're looking to manage disease, there's all kinds of things that you need to take into consideration. There's a type of group that they call it, a group of food called FODMAPs. So it's a group of foods that basically it's a group of sugars that react with your body.
Okay.
Sugar, Sugar is the evil. It's the source of almost every disease. High sugar foods can react with your arthritis. High sugar foods can react with your brain. High sugar foods can react with your digestion. So, and these FODMAPs, they react with your body and they give you symptoms such as fatigue, such as pain, such as digestive upset. So by cutting them out, you're cutting out the trigger that
like firing up your
firing up
inflammation?
your immune system,
Right.
your inflammation, right?
Yeah.
So you're essentially shutting that switch off, which shuts off your inflammation and shuts off your immune system, and not shuts it off, but shuts off the trigger, and then it gives your body a chance to heal.
Right.
By not having these triggers in place, because these triggers, once your immune system and everything is set into place, it can last a couple of days. So by shutting these off and taking these foods out, you're giving your body a chance to heal.
To reset.
Because if these are causing digestive upset and causing holes in your stomach, which is causing leaky gut, which is a huge thing.
And
then
that's mostly the legumes that do that, or
no,
sugars?
it's no legumes. Legumes have it, and grains have anti-nutrients, and those cause leaky gut.
Right.
And those cause all kinds of problems, but sugars can cause it too, because if you have leaky gut and the sugars get through your gut, then it's causing inflammation and it's causing the immune system to kick in.
Yeah.
And it's getting through that leaky gut, and they see it as a foreign invader.
Right.
And so your immune system comes in and attacks it,
Yeah.
and then it can cause an allergy reaction.
Right.
So now every time you eat that food, it's causing an allergic reaction.
And it shows up like a skin rash, or...
It can show up as a skin rash, it can show up as hives, it can show us an anaphylactic reaction. It can build up and build up and build up and get worse and worse and worse.
Right.
And maybe it started out as a skin rash, but now all of a sudden you're having an anaphylactic reaction to it.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, there's also, that besides the FODMAPs, there's the nightshade family, tomatoes, eggplant, peppers, and they also have lectins in them, and that can be a problem as well. The lectins are a protein, and one of the most famous lectins is gluten. So you definitely want to stay away from gluten for sure. Gluten is found in wheat, barley, rye, and a few other things. And you want to stay away from that because that is a protein that reacts with your body, and your body doesn't know how to fight it. So it sets off an immune response, and it attacks it, and it can mimic other proteins in your body. And that's where you start to have problems, because all of a sudden you have this gluten molecule that mimics other such proteins in your body, and your body starts attacking itself. And that's the autoimmune response.
So with autoimmune disorders, if somebody were having, what would a symptom, so what are the symptoms that will, you were saying the skin rash and irritable, tired. So when should you go to the doctor, and like who do you go to see to get diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder?
So usually you have to go to the doctor, and I know with MS you have to have 2 flare-ups and an MRI, magnetic resonance imaging, in order to get diagnosed with MS. I'm not sure what it is with celiac disease, which is also a autoimmune condition, I believe. It's a blood test, as well as a certain amount of flare-ups, and some people go on with celiac disease for years before they finally get their diagnosis.
So if you're getting tested for celiac, they
Yes.
test the blood, and the blood will show whether or not...
The blood will show the immune response
Right.
in it. And then you get, but you have to have the gluten in your body to get
Right.
that. So, and then once you get tested, then and it shows up positive, and lots of people get false negatives. And so it goes on for years where they're having this pain and this suffering. And then they finally get diagnosed with it. For lupus, there's different types of lupus. There's a discoid lupus and a systematic lupus, and each of them attack different parts of the body or present in different ways. They present as a skin rash, or they present as a pain because it's attacking one of your organs.
Right.
There's rheumatoid arthritis, which is an autoimmune condition, and that's attacking your joints in your body. So your joints in your body are mimicking a protein, or they're mimicking something that your body has decided is foreign, and now it's attacking your joints.
And that's inflammation.
Yeah, inflammation is the root cause of all evil.
Right.
Yeah.
I find so many of my clients are suffering from what they would consider to be inflammation, just aches that don't go away. And
Right.
that's why they come to me for massage.
So we don't want to get rid of that.
Right. And yoga is so amazing for
Right.
autoimmune disorders, because
Right.
it works on that stress component. To help to calm the body and to put you into parasympathetic, where your body learns how to return to homeostasis and heal itself naturally.
And it also builds the muscle, because the stronger you are, the harder it is to take that away from you.
Right. It
Right.
helps, and then helps to free up and bring light into the joints and ligaments of the body. So
Right.
it's definitely a miracle cure, but like you
Right.
said, with a diet, it's not like a one-day fix. You can't just go
No.
to one yoga class. It has to become a lifestyle.
Right.
And
Right. And with the diet, I mean, you'll start noticing within the first 4 weeks, but you won't actually know the full extent of it for at least 12 weeks.
right.
Yeah. So
So is there anything else we should know about a paleo diet? Could we come to you so you could design a paleo diet and get us clear in our heads about
absolutely.
exactly?
So with each person, I take a look at what their current diet is, what you currently eat,
Right.
and I can make paleo modifications to that. I can fill you with recipes and all kinds of information to take home with you. And basically I go on each person and whether or not I'm going to eliminate a certain food group or a certain FODMAPs or anything like that. And I work with them what their ailments are, whether you want to lose weight, whether you want to manage a disease, whether you want to manage your blood sugar, whether you like anything. And I can make a detailed diet specifically tailored to you and how you want to go about life. And I do like a 30-day thing where I follow you and I give you a 30-day diet plan, and then after that I give you a list of things to go by, where you can have this and you can't have that, or you can have this and you can't have that. So, and it basically takes you on your life path.
That seems totally invaluable. I was just talking with one of my girlfriends today who followed a nutrition coach and added some new exercise practice into her life, and she lost 35 pounds.
And that's the wonderful thing about paleo, is that when you start cutting out those processed foods and you start cutting out all of those unneeded calories, because there's so many calories in processed foods like dressings and dips and stuff like that that are not necessary. You can make just a delicious guacamole for a dip as opposed to a ranch dip that you buy from the store.
I'm notorious for having mayonnaise on the side of my everything. I
love mayonnaise, but I make my own mayonnaise.
Oh, really?
Yes. And I put it on everything. And I even make a bacon flavored mayonnaise using bacon fat.
Oh, you're kidding?
No.
Well, that sounds. I'm gonna have to get that recipe.
But bacon from a sourced, grass-fed, naturally raised pig.
Yes, and that was
So-
my next question. For you and your family, do you shop locally for pure
There's
meat?
lots of local places in this area. There's also online. You can order a lot of stuff online if you can't find it. It's a little bit more expensive to buy grass-fed beef as opposed to conventionally raised beef, but I find that I'm saving money in not buying those pills that I'm going to need down the road, or those a lot of childhood illnesses such as ADD and all of these things that they say that children have nowadays can be managed through diet, because I'm not pumping my kids full of sugar and high fructose corn syrup and red additive or coloring or whatever that they add into various types of candy that just plays havoc on their system, because these chemicals that they're adding into food, your body doesn't know what to do with them. So it stores them for later, and then it just builds up and builds up and builds up. And then your child's body is just like a toxic overload of chemicals. and it doesn't know what to do with it, so it starts acting out.
If you were coaching somebody on modifying to this new paleo lifestyle, but you looked at their regular diet and you saw a couple of things that were daily intake items that you know we should get rid of, right? Is there any kind of like mindset that you would establish for your client?
Yes. So initially off the hop, I say for 30 days, you need to give everything up.
Right.
And then after that, once you get this new relationship with food, because you need to fuel your body for life, you need to fuel your body for energy. You don't need to fuel your body for disease. So for the first 30 days, I want you to give this all up. And then after that, you can start to find things like if a toast is really, really what you want, you need to find something that to replace it with in the first 30 days. Just completely cut it out and replace it all together. Instead of toast, have eggs. Instead of toast, have fruit. But then after that, you can start to find a paleo bread, and maybe an almond flour bread, and replace it with that. Because you need to have that toast, and after the 30 days, you can't live without it. Okay, fine. So we need to find something that's paleoized that you can have.
So you need to basically commit.
You need to commit to it, absolutely. And you need to completely cut it out of your life and see, because it takes 21 days to make or break a habit.
Right.
So in that first 30 days, if you cut everything out, then you can find what you really can't live without. Which you need to have it.
Is coffee okay?
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't live without my coffee.
Right?
Coffee, yeah.
I know, I love my morning coffee.
Yeah.
Oh.
Alcohol is also cut out for 30 days. But then you can start to enjoy it once in a while after that. Beer is definitely a no-no. Although, pick your poisons.
Yeah, I've managed, John and I like to have, a couple of drinks periodically throughout the week in the evening time when we're just relaxing together. And there's been a few times over the past 4 years where we've gone on our health kicks and cut out alcohol for a month straight, and everyone just goes, how did you do that? And because it's challenging, because we go out and everybody else is having a few
alcohol
drinks.
Is socially acceptable.
It is, and it's our winding down kind of connection at the end of the night too, but I found the few times that I've managed to really cut it out, I've had to make a decision and commit to it and just say, this is it, you're doing it. If you quit in October, November 1st, go out and have a good time.
Right. And it's hard to find something to replace that with. If you're going to cut it out, you need to completely cut it out.
Right.
You can't replace it with a cup of tea in the evening.
Yeah.
Or
this month we've cut out a lot, and I've been doing a lot of tea drinking.
Right.
And extra coffee drinking too. Usually I don't have my evening coffee, but when we're not having a couple of beers, I found that I'll have my evening coffee.
Right, but if you have coffee with Bailey's in the morning, you can't replace that with almond milk and expect it to be the same. You just have to completely cut out the Bailey's.
Right, so just cut it out entirely. And I like my herbal teas in the evening, so that works really well for me. And just more water. I'm continuously reminding myself to replace everything with...
I drink 4 liters of water a day, and I find that is my good spot.
And you look great. You're glowing. Your skin looks great. You could tell you take very good care of yourself. Your hair is a great color. Your posture is good.
Oh, no, it's not.
That's why you need to come to yoga.
I do need to come to yoga. I do.
All right. Well, is there anything else you wanted to add to our little chat for today?
I don't think so. I think that as far as a paleo lifestyle goes, you can't be perfect all of the time. I think for the first 30 days, I tried to get people to be paleo perfect, they call it.
Right.
But after that, I like to go by the 80-20 rule, where 80% of the time, I'm fantastic. I stick to the paleo rules, and I make sure that I am on track, and I allow myself 20% freedom, because without that 20% freedom, I would go crazy. I would go bananas. Because
that's a good rule.
Yeah.
I like the 80-20 rule.
Yeah, because if you need to have that candy, then you need to have that candy. But just because you had that one candy, just because you get a flat tire doesn't mean you're going to go and slash the other 3. You need to jump back on track and keep going.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for taking time to share your
Thanks
knowledge
for having me.
with us. And you are inspiring to me. I've been really enjoying all of your talks, the community talks. We need some more people to come out and participate in our bi-weekly
We'll get
chats.
them from our healthy 1 week at a time.
Right?
Yes.
We're going to have to figure out some kind of fancy Facebook catch everybody's attention.
I think that we should maybe try to do a cooking class or something, because food brings people in.
Oh, you think so?
I think so.
Put some yummy in their tummy and when they'll be
Make
our
sure it's
friends.
healthy. Yeah. And not just carrot sticks. I promise I won't feed you carrot sticks.
Veggies and dip.
Unless it's carrot French fries.
I'm really interested in learning some new energy ball recipes for myself and some healthy snacks instead of reaching for my potato chips that I sometimes easily grab at the end of the day when it'd be
nuts are good for that, but you don't want to go too crazy on them because they're very high in fat, but they're salty and they're crunchy and
right. We do usually carry nuts as well. But so thanks for taking time to chat with us today,
Thanks for having
Jolene.
me. I hope I've inspired some more people to be a little bit more healthy.
Absolutely. Get healthy, people.
Yeah.